you need to find what you love. If you fail, find out how you failed.
Yeah.
Learn from your failure. And then that's what started. I got into landscape photography, built a following from that, released a book in 2018 about drummers will practice the rudiments, play along the songs.
Yeah.
This is me playing a song for a gig.
With me, a professional in his game, a photographer, who, if I'm correct in saying, started off with the drums, was it? Or?
Yep, started off as a drummer and then got into graphic design and then fell in love with photography. And yeah, now I'm 5 years full-time as a photographer.
Yeah, now, before drumming, were you ever into photography or?
It was different back then, you know. Like I was 14 when I got into drums,
Yeah.
so you know it was all film. So it was always seen as quite an expensive thing. But like my uncle's a videographer, and my dad would have borrowed his cameras to video us as kids for the Christmas stuff. So we were always surrounded by all that kind of stuff and gadgets and all that. So I was always privy to a lot of gadgets, big into that. But it was always seen, even when I got into graphic design, even coming from all the money that I'd spent in drumming and playing as a drummer and traveling the country, it was always seen, even in the start of the digital, that photography was such an expensive thing to get into. But I always had a love for it and a kind of an interest for it, like, you know. So even when I started, I studied music in college, and the course was thinking about doing some photos. I remember actually saying to one of the lecturers, "Do you know what'd be cool is the mixing desk, them blurred photos. Like you're always thinking of that. But even back then, you know, the artwork of any musician that you were a fan of, you know, the albums and stuff. The photography was massive. Like you had a full booklet that came with your albums, full of photo shoots, live performances, interviews. You know, it had a whole lot of loads. So you were always, even as a musician, you'd look at those things and you're like, I'd love to look like that. So like if I was drumming, kind of like, I'd love to get that angle there. That, you know, when he's playing on the right cymbal, I'd love to have.
You always wanted your own sort of.
Yeah, you always have your own like self-image that
you
were trying to you would try and achieve as best you could, as you know, original bands try to, you know. So photography was always. It always circulated around me, but it was one of them things that was a little bit out of my grasp. I already had one expensive hobby, then to get into another one.
To get into another one would be a bit too much.
But
would it be correct in saying it started in 2020? Was it?
No. Before that, no. I'm actually nearly 10 years at it now. Like so, what started it was I was a freelance drummer around the country. Playing for wedding bands and cover bands, and I would get meeting people, who would be like, "That a loud accent? How's the troubles?" And I'm like, "What? How's the violence?" And I'm like, seriously, lads, I was 12 when the Good Friday Agreement happened, like, you know, in 98. I remember bits. We didn't pay much attention, you know, it was just the norm. But that's not like the way it is now. So I did 6 months with a GoPro because I had a whole lot of GoPros to video myself as a drummer. And I went around Dundalk doing a time-lapse video. And no one knew what a time-lapse was. Like I went to the Crown Plaza, at the time it was Crown Plaza. Can I get onto the roof? Can I get, you know, up to like the restaurant and do a time lapse at this? And they didn't know what it was, so it just fell on deaf ears. The video came out in January 2016. In 2016, 25,000 views over a weekend, which was massive at the time. And I got loads of photographers saying, "Stop wasting your time on these GoPros. Go get yourself a DSLR." And I had just bought a house. We were just about to start renovating, but I had money put aside to do up a home studio for the drums, to soundproof and all the money that I had for the recording equipment went into a camera. And then that's what started. I got into landscape photography, built a following from that, released a book in 2018 about the heritage sites of Louth. And after that, I got hired by Fáilte Ireland then to do a landscape shoot for them for Ireland's Ancient East. And I got introduced to the kind of money you can get commercially. So I was like, oh no, it's commercially viable, because I was a full-time graphic designer. I was working for Boy Sports. I was their lead designer at the time. So I was doing graphic design, I was doing drumming, and now I was on the side as well. So I would do a gig, like say in Limerick, and I would have my camera with me. Finish the gig, be on the road, and at 6 o'clock I'd be hitting Dublin, and I would go, do you know what? I'll go to the 40 foot in Dunleary. It's a diving spot. I wouldn't be able to do that coming, you know, in the middle of the summer. Sunrise is at 10 to 5. There's no way I would do that, you know, waking up at 3 in the morning to get going. On the way home from a gig, I'm still awake. So I would do that. I might go away for like a 20-minute nap and then try and get.
So you loved it clearly, like.
Oh yeah, I still do. Just I don't.
Energy wasn't a thing. It was just pure passion at the time, and it still is, obviously.
I'm still the same. People. Yeah. I got a message from someone last night, and they literally said, "I'm only messaging you because I know you're still awake."
Yeah,
I don't sleep at night.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's tougher now. I have 2 kids now, so it's a bit tough trying to find time outside of everything I do. Like I was here doing this shoot yesterday till nearly 7 o'clock. It just ran over time and time. So just a bit of a...
Just with a shoot like this, what goes into the planning of, because it's all right to like look at it now and say, oh, I see how that was made, but to really plan that out in your mind and to put it onto the table like it is there, like what goes into that,
Loads of research.
Yeah.
I would use an awful lot of Pinterest. Sometimes I'd go into Instagram, but Pinterest is far better because the boards that they give you can be related. You can actually come across the actual ad campaigns. So the first thing I need to do is, because it's all about Corona, is to see what Corona actually released, not the kind of cool, fun stuff that we see on Instagram, because that could be someone playing with AI nowadays. That could be someone doing their own portfolio shoot, so it has maybe nothing to do with Corona, and you'll be influenced in the wrong direction. So went to go see what's on their site. What colours did they use? How did they like to present the bottles? One thing I noticed with the bottle was, don't put the lime into the bottle, just put it sitting on it. That's what they have it, because it's ready to serve.
Yeah.
Because as a barman, you wouldn't be putting someone's lime into the bottle for them. You just put the lime on the bottle.
Yeah, wee little things like that.
Little things like that. It's like you wouldn't serve a glass with your hand in it. You know what I mean? That's disgusting. So it's the same with the lime. So you have to take these things into consideration with the photo. And you're trying to, like, I'm not saying I'm going to get hired by Corona next week.
Yeah.
But another brand might see it, an ad agency might see it, and then they may say, okay, hold on, we like that vision, and we've got something for you. So that's more the idea that I have for it, So, but I had to pull all the tricks out for this one. I was telling you earlier, I was using a filter here mixed with something on my lens to get rid of glares, so I could light up the labels, because the labels weren't being lit. That's a really old technique. It's well known for those in professionally as in product photography, but that's on hardly any tutorials on YouTube. Just tutorials about how to do product photography, how to do simple lighting, but when it comes to those fine adjustments, I found it. A fella said it in a video once, just in passing. Oh, I have a polarizing filter on the light to cut the glare. That's it. And he moved on. Never explained what he did it for. Didn't explain how it worked. I just went and got it and played around.
Gave it a go,
And that's what all it is as well, is you're constantly... Drummers will practice the rudiments, play along the songs. This is me playing a song for a gig. This is me practicing. This is the equivalent to it. I might not be earning yesterday, but it's earning me in days to come, weeks to come, years to come.
So you're building a foundation sort of for projects that
constantly,
coming up.
Constantly, because you're adding floors. So you need to reinforce the foundations all the time, and then think outside of the box. Constantly thinking outside the box. You think in the box, you'll be left in that box. Where I'm trying to think constantly outside the box, stand out from everyone else. I refuse to niche as well. That's seen as a no-no at the minute too. Everyone's like, you need to niche. And I'm like, I don't really want to.
You can just...
I can do products, and then I can do headshots, or I can do architecture. I was doing architecture 3 days ago. So my week my last couple of weeks was headshots, architectures, and now I have a product shoot next week, and I was just doing this as a bit of practice.
So even with the experience you have, would you say every day is still a learning day? Every day is... You're grasping a new technique, and you're learning a new way to...
when I was working as a graphic designer, the last company I worked for was Irish Whiskey Auctions. And I was working as a designer and a photographer. And I photographed hundreds of whiskey bottles. So I'm really experienced with photographing stuff that's shiny and reflective. And I could not get the Coronas to sing. They were reflecting the blue background through it. So it went from a lovely gold to a green. And I was fighting it. And the reason I was fighting it was because there's one trick is to put tracing paper to the back. And I was just, I don't want to go down that route. I want to find another route. But it is just a simple thing in the end. Just go cut some tracing paper, glue it to the back, and away you go. It could have been done ages before, when I tried every other technique, not to have to do that. So,
Obviously, photography is a big thing in what you do, but one thing I noticed about you, you're very big into content creation as well.
Yeah.
Sort of your process and documenting your process
Hugely.
of the projects you're doing, you know, and sort of, I don't think there's enough of it, but, you know, like explain to other people how it's done. You know, not being afraid to maybe give away wee techniques that other people might hold valuable to them, you know?
That comes, and there's a lot of people who are guarded, heavily guarded. There's a great thing in the drumming community is, and it happened before, where I was at a gig before and someone came up and said, "Hey, what was that fill you did through that song?" And I went, it was a blush star, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I told him, and I told him what it was, told him how he did it, and he went, "I have to go and learn it." You do that with a guitar player? No go. They won't tell you a thing because it's heavily guarded. So I come from the drumming community background, and sharing is caring. Literally.